Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Join me today as I show you my process for potting up pansy seedlings. So let's go. I live in New Hampshire. I garden in USDA Zone 5B. Based on my zip code, my average last frost date is around May 15th. Today is January 19th. I made a video on January 4th, which was 15 days ago, where we sowed a bunch of pansy seeds that I collected. Well, I have great news. Most of the pansy seedlings have their first set of true leaves. Yesterday, I spent some time and I started pricking out the seedlings and potting them up into 6 cell packs. Since the seeds were a few years old, I wasn't sure what to expect with germination rates. I was very pleased with the amount of seeds that did germinate. So I reserved some seedlings here because I figured you'd want to see the process for how to pot up pansy seedlings. So let's get started with the process. To make my own potting mix for indoor plants, I start with 4 parts of peat moss, although you can use coco coir. Parts are measured with whatever you're using for scooping. In my case, I'm using a bowl. Next, I add 1 part of perlite. The next ingredient is 1 part of vermiculite. Many people like to use fine vermiculite. I've used coarse and it's also worked well for me. And then I like to sprinkle the top with pulverized dolomitic limestone. It's a good idea to add lime if you're using peat moss, as it helps reduce the acidity levels. If you're using coco coir, you can omit the lime. After boiling water in a tea kettle, I pour the boiling water over my DIY potting mix. This water not only pre-moistens my mix, but because it's boiling water, it kills off any chances of fungus gnat eggs that might be in my peat moss. I want to make sure I'm mixing everything really well because I want to reach all parts of the mix. I then continue adding boiling water and mixing everything up really well. After I'm all done, I tamp down the mix and then I cover it and I let it cool before I use the mix. You want to use a pre-moistened seed starting or potting mix, and when you squeeze it, you'll notice that no water is dripping out. Yet when you let go, it holds its form, and that's the perfect consistency. To pot up my seedlings, I just like to use these small little 6 cell packs. You can pot up your seedlings in whatever you want. Just make sure that the pot that you're using has drainage holes in the bottom of them. Let's go ahead and fill up our 6 cell pack. When you fill up your pot container or 6 cell pack, you want to make sure that you're pressing down to get rid of any air pockets that might be in there. But you also don't want to press down too hard. If you press down too hard, you're compacting your seed starting or potting mix, which is not good for root development. So even though I pricked out a majority of the seedlings, this is what I left behind for us to work on together. When it comes to pricking out my seedlings, I like to use a pen. You can use whatever you have handy. The key is you need to be able to get underneath the seedling and pull it out. When it comes to handling seedlings, you always want to handle them by their leaves. You don't want to handle them by their stems. And the reason is because if the stem breaks, then the seedling is dead. However, if a leaf breaks, then the seedling should be fine. And I typically like to handle my seedlings by their cotyledon leaves if possible. So I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to go beneath the seedling while I'm holding the seedling by its leaf. And the roots are quite extensive, so I'm actually just taking off some of the seed starting mix. And the reason I'm doing that is just in case there are any other seeds that are in here that still want to germinate. But that step is optional. I'm pressing down in the area where we removed our seedling, just so that if there are any seeds in here, they still have a chance to germinate. And you can see that this one little seedling has quite the extensive root system already formed. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my pen again and I want to make a hole in each of the cells where the seedlings are going to go. In terms of how deep to make the hole, I want to make it deep enough so that the stem as well as the roots can be accommodated in that hole. So I'm actually going to be making that hole almost to the bottom of each cell. Now I want to gently place my seedling in the little hole that we made. I can use my pen to help guide the roots inside the hole, and then I can go ahead and just backfill around the base of the plant. I prefer to plant my seedlings deeper because I want to make sure that they're nice and sturdy. For the most part, seedlings appreciate that, but always do your research on whichever seedling it is that you're trying to transplant. I want to make sure that my seedling is sturdy and not leggy. And I'm pushing down with the back of my pen just to settle that seedling in place. And that's just a side profile of what the pansy seedling looks like now that we've potted it up. Isn't it so cute? I definitely could have sown these seeds in the 6L pack. But because the seeds were older, that's one of the many reasons why I like to mass sow my seeds in restaurant takeout containers. Another reason is you just never know how many seeds are going to germinate, even if you buy them fresh. So I don't like to waste valuable space under my grow lights. I want to make sure that pretty much every cell is filled. There's nothing worse than having a whole tray and only half of the cells are filled. That's important real estate that's being wasted. Pansies can be very slow to grow, but it's a fun thing to do when you really can't be starting too many other seeds indoors. The seed starting mix that the pansy seeds were sown in did not have any fertilizer in them. But at this point, the seedlings will need fertilizer. And some people, when it comes to seed starting, just like to start off with day one with a potting mix that has fertilizer in it. Again, do what works best for you and your budget. Normally, this is a process I like to do during the early morning when I'm having my coffee. So that's when I did a majority of the seedlings, was yesterday morning. You might be wondering, how many times do I need to pot up my pansy seedlings before they actually go in the landscape? I will probably have to pot them up one more time. If I was to leave these in the 6L pack from now until plant out time, they will definitely become pot bound or root bound, and that's not healthy for the seedlings. So then you might be wondering, well, why not just go ahead and plant them directly from day one in their forever home of a pot? Let's call it a 3-inch pot. The reason is I want to have a lot of control when it comes to the moisture level. And also, think about it, those 3-inch pots take up a lot of real estate. So I would much rather slowly pot up my seedlings. I start off with the restaurant takeout container. I look at it kind of like it started off in a little tiny studio apartment. But then I bump up my seedlings into a 6L pack. So now they're going to get bumped up into a 2-bedroom, or let's call it a 6-bedroom condo. It's a lot of bedrooms in a condo, but you know what I mean. And then eventually, once they've outgrown their space, they'll get placed into a much bigger 3-inch pot, which is their house. And I can keep doing that so that I'm slowly just babying my plants, but also I'm not initially giving up real estate under my grow lights. I worry that if I was to put them in a big pot, I might overwater them or underwater them. I just can't monitor it. Place this little guy in, pressing down around it. And that's just a close-up of how these little seedlings are looking. I think they look really good. So when it comes to this tray, I really only have a few seedlings left here. I'll go ahead off camera, I'll prick them out. Then I'm going to mist the top of this with water. I will cover it back up with my humidity dome. And I'm going to place this back on my grow light system, not on a seedling heat mat because that's not good for the pansy seeds. And if any more seedlings are going to germinate, then that's great. Now let's talk about these seedlings. You'll notice that some of them have just their first leaves, which are called the cotyledons. But then some of them have their first set of true leaves, and that's the little thing in the center there. And as soon as you have seedlings that are getting their first set of true leaves, at that point you want to start fertilizing them. Now we have 50-50. We have some that have their first set of true leaves and some that do not. I feel comfortable at this point giving these guys fertilizer. And I'm going to be fertilizing them half a strength of what's directed on the packaging. I have a really good video that I made on my channel that talks all about bottom watering seedlings as well as fertilizing them. I'm going to put a link to that up above as well as down below. But in this video, I'm not going to go into much detail about that since I already have that other video, and I highly recommend that you go watch it. All I'm doing right now is I'm adding some water to this shallow tray. And notice there are no holes in it. That's very important. I want the water to be able to just sit here. I'm going to take my 6L pack and I'm just going to place it in there. I'm going to place it in there for only probably 5 minutes. The potting mix is already pre-moistened, so I'm not too worried about giving this too much water. I'm showing this just for demonstration purposes, that this is how I bottom water my seedlings. And not only that, the water that I'm using has a half a strength of fertilizer in it. I have a 1 gallon jug here. I also have this mesh tray. Inside the mesh tray, I've put what are called mosquito bits. And I like to use mosquito bits from day one when it comes to seed starting. The instructions state to use 4 tablespoons of mosquito bits to my 1 gallon of water. And I like to keep it in this mesh bag so that it's not floating inside of the water. I'm able to use the mosquito bits about 2, if not 3 times before I have to throw them out and replace them inside the bag. Right now I'm using Espoma Organic Grow as my fertilizer in here. I've also in the past used Miracle Grow. Either one is fine. Here are the instructions on the back of the bottle. And the instructions are per quart. So since this is 1 gallon, this is equal to 4 quarts. I'm going to let this drip dry because it's nice and heavy. I'm going to go ahead and put this under my grow lights. My grow lights are on 16 hours a day. They come on at 5 a.m., they go off at 9 p.m. I have them set up on a timer, and the lights are only going to be about 2 inches above the seedlings. I don't want it too high up because I don't want leggy seedlings. I like to fertilize my seedlings once a week in terms of moisture. I like to water once I know that this is feeling very light, and also once the soil is maybe starting to look a light brown color. Don't overwater your seedlings, but also don't let them dry out. It's a fine balance. If you like this content, please hit the thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss out on any future videos. I'll be sure to bring you along as I continue taking care of these pansy seedlings. And be sure to check out the description below where I have links to videos such as how to collect your own pansy seeds, how to start pansies from seed, as well as many other videos having to do with indoor seed starting. If you have any questions or comments, I love hearing from you. Please drop them down below. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.